up, everybody? This your boy Nautical. Welcome to my new video. This is a topic I wanted to talk about for quite some time now, probably a couple weeks. But listening to different gaming podcasts in the YouTube community, just watching different people's videos about I hate this system, or this system sucks, or this system is the best, and all this other crazy stuff. I just wanted to put my own 2 cents in there to say why I choose the system that I choose, because I feel like there's not enough people out here in the YouTube gaming community to just, hey, it's okay to pick the system you want to pick. You know, it's not going to hurt my feelings because you pick PlayStation over Xbox or you pick Xbox over PlayStation. But I just want to tell you guys my story and why I chose the system that I chose. And from the thumbnail, you probably already know that I chose the Microsoft brand over the Sony brand. And for one simple reason, community. The community that I was able to build, or not even build, just come into, the friendships I got from owning an Xbox One or Xbox 360 or original Xbox has made a dramatic difference in somewhat life for me, kind of, because initially, you know, I was the type of gamer that just played by myself. You know, if I wasn't playing with my brother, I would, you know, not too many people would come over and just, you know, play Nintendo game with me, or even on my PlayStation when me and my brother used to battle it out in Madden. You know, we were the only ones doing it. Really was nobody else that was involved in it. But original Xbox changed that. It opened up the possibilities to be able to play abroad with people that you don't even know. Now, PlayStation 2 had this. Dreamcast had it too, but it didn't quite have it like Xbox had it. Now, the closest thing I can say that PlayStation did have to it was SOCOM, which I did play and I did enjoy. Because SOCOM 2 was awesome. And I am with Broken Games HD on this. Remaster that game and bring it back, because I can't wait to see what they do with it if they did something like that. So y'all definitely need to go sign that petition form that they got out there to basically get this game remade. But outside of that, it was just when Xbox finally released, it was more of a shock to me, honestly. You know, I didn't expect Microsoft to jump into this gaming market. Now, don't get me wrong, the more people in it, the better. You know, all that does is make the more people in it makes the sum of its parts stronger. You know, that's what happens when you add a new player to it, because it shakes up the economy of everything going on, and everybody else has to be on their toes because they don't know what the other person's going to do. But for me, original Xbox changed a lot. It was the first time I actually branched out and played different games with other people at all times. Like, I was into basketball, and Halo changed everything for me, because I would literally host parties at my house or go to a friend's house and like, hey, I'll bring my 4 friends and I'll bring my Xbox and we can take your 4 friends out at your own house. You know, it was like battle lines were drawn and all this other stuff, and it was cool, it was fun, it was awesome. And that was the first time I was introduced to anything quite like that in gaming. And then a year later, Xbox Live launched. I remember going up to my brother's house and basically racing to the store to make sure I got the handle I wanted, which was Nautical, of course. I've been on Xbox Live ever since. And the biggest thing I know from that is Ghost Recon changed a lot for me. That's probably where 90 or 70% of my friends list came from at that time. Up until Xbox One, you could only have 100 people on your friends list. 80 of those people came from original Xbox, and most of them were from Ghost Recon or MechAssault or something like that. You know, games, even, what was it, Brute Force? Games like that I used to just be in parties with and talk with people and play. It was a very surreal moment in my life where I was like, dang, this is really something. You can actually really make friends on a console that you don't even see them with, and I really appreciated that at the time. At that time, I still had my PlayStation 2. I still enjoyed it. I still played SOCOM and all these other games. And Final Fantasy 7 was my first Final Fantasy 7 was on original PlayStation 1. But Bouncer, I love that game. It was just a very good moment in gaming for me that I will never, ever forget. But when 360 came out, now it came out a year before PlayStation 3. So if you were going to get a new system, you were going to get a 360. It changed the game again. First of all, it gave me almost out of the gate my favorite game of all time, Halo 2. So great. Just the marketing behind that game was just incredible. And if anybody doesn't remember what marketing for Halo was back in its heyday, when it was really good, when Bungie was in full stride with it, it, you need to go look at some of those hype videos in YouTube that are archived just to see it, because it was simply incredible. They were the originators of the Dorito and Mountain Dew thing. You think Call of Duty did it big? No, Halo did it bigger. It was just being part of a phenomenon like that was just fun. I mean, you know, you have no investment in it or anything. It's not like you're getting your pockets lined from it, but it's just cool to say, hey, you know, I belong to something that's cool. Everybody wants their piece of plastic to do good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie about that. But overall, I think the Xbox kind of, you know, not limped out of the gate, because they did have problems. They had the red ring of death. That thing was terrible. But overall, it survived. You can't really say that about systems that have catastrophic failures like the 360 did. It's just a very big positive for all the games that it had. It had really good games in it, and it didn't help that and it also helped that Sony had a cell processor that people just hated working for. So third-party development was just all over the Xbox 360 just for that fact alone. Now, I kind of think the roles will probably be a little bit more reversed if PlayStation would have came out at the same time, because PlayStation, it's hard to believe that a system that had 150 million sold, its predecessor, if it came out and launched at the same time, wouldn't at least do something, probably not that, but at least be more in line to what you're seeing today with Xbox One and PS4. Maybe not as lopsided as it is, but it would still be a difference. And the reason I say that is because PlayStation has a very diverse gaming library. Like, people can pretty much just pick any type of genre that's out there, and Sony has a game for them. And Microsoft does to an extent too, but the thing with Microsoft is their games, they really tried that on 360 in the beginning with games like Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey, but they really didn't really pick up any steam. And I don't know if it's just that it was just Japanese not trying to support the American company or anything like that. I don't know. But it just didn't catch on, and Microsoft dropped it. So they tried. But, you know, ultimately Sony did come back in the 360 era, and they actually took the lead. So, and we won the whole thing, you know. But overall, very successful launch going on there. But I still owned the PS3 during that. I owned it for Killzone, and I played Uncharted and stuff on there. And I started Uncharted 1, started Uncharted 2, finished Uncharted 3. So I need to definitely go back and play those. I didn't play Last of Us because I didn't have a PS3 at that time, because I just got rid of it to reserve my PS4. But overall, both systems were great. I owned both of them, and same as the gen before that, I owned both of those. So really didn't have a dog in the fight at all. I just preferred my preferred platform, which was Xbox, because of the community overall. I mean, I bought a PlayStation 3 because of those friends. You know, they said that this game was so awesome, and I seen trailers for Killzone, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. I am a fan of shooters, and I bought one just for that. The only thing I didn't like about Killzone was the weight. The weight felt like you were walking underwater when you turned and stuff, and it was pretty crazy. Then Xbox One comes out, and boy, does Microsoft shoot themselves in the foot. Now, me being a casual PC gamer, I'll put it, and you know, I'm used to my games not being, you know, installing to the hard drive and not having discs and all this other stuff, so that really didn't bother me, you know. But I will say it wasn't the best time for Microsoft to push out this initiative to the masses. The fact that, you know, Don Matrick could come onto a stage and say, well, if you don't have internet, then we have a system for you. It's called the Xbox 360. I actually chuckled when I heard that, because the one thing I will say is the man with a smile told you exactly the truth about the system. He didn't cover up and say, oh, well, I mean, you know, the system has a very good Wi-Fi connector that can, or a signal booster and all this other bullshit that he could have threw out there to say that, you know, if you have even marginal internet, the system will work. No, the man came out and said that if you ain't got internet, or your internet is broke and your shit is slow, then we have a 360 for you. So I actually kind of applaud him for that, but it still wasn't the best thing for you to come out of your mouth, you know, right there at E3, right after your press conference, where everybody's still trying to figure out exactly what the Xbox One is or what it's trying to do. I will say this, after the Xbox reveal, they brung the games. I mean, they kind of had to because they really didn't want to talk about all that other shit no more because they kind of did a 360 and changed all their policies overnight to make sure that they were in line to what the PS4 was doing. And so let's not act like, let's not be stupid here. PlayStation saw this press conference. This is one of the disadvantages of going first as being Xbox. But Sony saw this press conference and they said, oh, $500. And if you remember the reports, they said they were basically just screaming and hollering like, oh my God, we definitely could beat that price point, because they probably were thinking Xbox was going to come out at $400 just like them, or probably cheaper, $349 or something. But when they said $500, it's like, well, we do have a bundle, because it was reported that system was bundled with the camera. So they said we can unbundle this camera and make our system cheaper by $100. And that's what they did. They did the right thing, But let's not be, silly. I mean, they were going to do the same thing, but they, had the chance to actually forecast what Microsoft was doing, and they changed it. And they saw real-time reaction to what Microsoft did. That's why they could go on their stage after Sony and say, this is how you trade games on PlayStation 4. And you just hand the game to a friend. That's the things that you could do when you go second. And I'm not knocking Sony for doing it, because that shit worked and motherfuckers was crying in the stands and all this other crazy shit. It was just funny to me. But guess what? I bought a PlayStation. That shit didn't bug me. I just wanted a PlayStation because I know there's games on PlayStation I want to play. So that's why I went out and bought one. But it didn't deter me from buying an Xbox, because the way I look at gaming, if there's certain games that I know I want to play, I'm going to buy that system. So there's no way a Halo can come out and I'm not going to buy it. So why not have the system for it? Now, the game could suck, but it's still the fact that it's still a platform that I prefer, that I like to play on, and I definitely want to give myself the opportunity to do that. I'm not one of those people that like to live through other people and see exactly what they think about it. I want to be able to put the game in myself whenever I want to and say, how is this game? Because there's been many games that people said suck that I actually say, oh, it wasn't good, but it was decent enough to play. So it still went out and bought my Xbox regardless. I would have bought it regardless, even if it was DRM and you had to do the 24-hour check-in, mostly just because I like having the newer stuff. And that wouldn't have been a problem for me. But I do understand the hate and all the other stuff that people felt during the time that this was going on. So that was definitely warranted towards Microsoft. And to everybody's credit in the world, we got them to change the policy. And trust me, ever since then, Microsoft has been clawing back, trying to get back with Sony. And honestly, this generation is pretty much lost when it comes to the console war between Microsoft and Sony. But it's not as bad as people make it out. And it's, I have no dog in the fight when it comes to it. Like I said, I do like to see my platform do good, which is Xbox. I do prefer to play on that, but it's not as bad as everybody makes it. Yes, when you sit it up against the 40 million pound gorilla called PlayStation 4, yeah, it looks shitty as hell, but also it is outpacing the 360 and the PS3 sales at this point. It is outdoing that. Now, what most people are going to say is, well, if Microsoft was beating Sony or it was closer, they'd be releasing numbers all the time. And I agree with that 100%. Definitely. But that still doesn't change the fact that even if they were doing good, that is still doing better than the past. They just chose to change the narrative of the conversation by just putting out what they want to put out, which is good business, actually. Why would you want to announce to the people that don't go to places like Reddit or look at MPD numbers or see what systems are selling the most? Why would you want to publicly state that stuff for everybody to hear if you don't have to? We want, to have a clear picture of what's going on. And I understand that, but it's no reason to bash one system just to make a point on another one, just like it is not anybody's place to defend one system against another one. And with that being said, guys, let's just learn to love the systems we have. I know it's hard out there where you got people spreading misinformation about what's going on in the gaming community with their preferred piece of plastic but there's no reason to have this back and forth like, the shit box or the Xbox or any of this other stuff, or play or Sony pony or whatever you want to say. You know, we're all gamers. You know, overall, I feel like together we're better. You know, we can make big changes in the gaming community by just sticking together. You know, it wasn't just Xbox people that rebelled and made Microsoft change their policy. It was PlayStation people too. And we did that together, you know. But if we keep fighting and going at each other's throats about, you know, well, your system sucks and my system's better, we're not going to go anywhere. And nobody is going to be happy because overall, who the fuck cares? But guys, I appreciate you sticking by this almost 20-minute video. It was just something I was thinking about, and you know, I hope I, you know, conveyed what I was feeling in a very good manner and stuff like that. But definitely, this is something I want to do more and want to talk about things that's on my mind. So if you like this, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. Definitely, but whatever you do, I just appreciate you doing it. Also, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate that if you did. Definitely helps out the channel a lot. And follow me on social media. Y'all can find me at Gaming Forte on Facebook and Gaming Forte on Twitter. You know, definitely do that. So all the support is appreciated, guys. Leave messages in the comment section to let me know what you guys think about what I was saying, because I want to know what you guys got to say about this. You know, is everybody just on one side of the fence, or are there some people in the middle that just don't give a fuck and just want to play games and just have fun? But overall, I'm done. I appreciate you guys listening to me for 20 minutes, and I will talk to y'all in the next video. Peace.